Hey folks, I hope you're doing good. So, I'm here to share some visualizations that I have recently wrapped up with one of my projects. And I thought it would be cool to share them in order for you to use them as a future reference for your projects. So, my project is titled Jersey City on the Move. I understand that the name is quite vague, but trust me, it will be much more rational towards the end of the video. But from the cover page itself, you should have an idea that I'll be talking more about bike rides, especially about Citi Bike, which is one of the most prominent bike sharing systems which is currently active in the United States. So when I started with the project, my objective was to analyze the Citi Bike ridership for the first 3 quarters of 2025. I acquired all the data from relevant sources in order to unify, pre-process, and bake them so that it can be directly fed to any visualization software. And my main objective was to explore how different weather conditions affect ride patterns and demand in the bike sharing system. I have used Tableau software to complete most of my work for this project. Talking about the main data, it comes from two different parts. The first part is acquired directly from the City Bike's official website, which contains end to end trip information. And the second part is coming from any trustworthy or reliable weather data website, where I'm having detailed information of daily weather conditions right from January to August of 2025. Now, before we move further, a note of caution. My project has a geographical constraint. On the left, you can see the true service area of Citi Bike. Citi Bike mainly operates in New York City, with including parts of Bronx, Queens, and Manhattan, and a small part of it is also extended into New Jersey. And that is exactly my focus area for this project. Now, how does Citi Bike work? It is a bike sharing system. So let me explain that to you. Imagine that you are at location A and you would like to go to location B. With the presence of this system, you can rent a bike from any of the stations closer to location A, ride all the way through to location B, and dock your bike back into any of the stations closer to location B. The moment you end your ride, you are billed accordingly. I'll be using certain terminologies during while walking you through the story. So I thought it would be good if you were familiar with them. City Bike provides two different types of bikes: a classic bike, which is a traditional bicycle, and an electric bike, which is a gear assisted bicycle. The riders are distributed into two different groups. A casual group refers to riders who don't usually use this system quite frequently. Uh, it can be attributed that these riders are tourists who visit the place for a short span of time, or people who are much more dependent upon other public transportation options available in the city. Members, on the other hand, are people who use the bike sharing system quite frequently, often on a day to day basis. And these are the two groups available. This is a data pre-processing flow file that I have built using Tableau Prep Builder. I won't go through the details, but if you are curious about how the data was pre-processed, you can definitely stop here and go through the information. So it's time to dive into the story. So this is the story that I've made on Tableau. The story is exploring how Jersey City's bike sharing system is used among the residents, and it reveals distinct patterns between member types and a clear relationship between ridership and weather conditions. This is the first dashboard. On the top left, you can see a station popularity map where each and every dot represents how active or how busy a station has been throughout the first 3 quarters. The blue dots represent that the station has been highly active. And one most common thing to note is that these blue dots are closer to bus stations or any other public transportations that connect people from New Jersey to New York, which is a key thing to note because majority of the people travel to New York on a day-to-day basis for either work or business purposes or for the sake of traveling as well. On the top right, I have made two donut charts, which represents membership distribution and the ride type distribution, with the total number of trips that have been taken across the timeline. On a majority, 77.5% of the rides have been taken by member group, with nearly 63% of the rides being completed using electric bikes. At the bottom left, there is a list of the top start stations, which coincides with the station popularity map as well. These charts go hand in hand. So I'll start just clicking on one each of these stations, and I want you to observe on the bottom right, the hourly ride pattern chart. You will observe that there is a very common pattern when it comes to the right hourly ride patterns for each of these stations. And the thing is that these stations are usually not used much during the first part of the day in order to start a ride. However, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., these stations usually get very busy, which makes sense because that is the time when people return back from New York to New Jersey and they travel back to their places. Now, this is the second dashboard. Here, I am exploring how weather influences the ride. And we have a chart for ridership versus temperature and humidity on the top left. And it can be seen that these riderships are highly sensitive to weather. On the top right, it can be seen, I've made a vertical bar chart for weather condition impact. On x-axis, we have COCO codes. These codes are like a weather condition codes with lesser the number implying most favorable weather conditions and higher the number implying the weather conditions are quite severe. So I think 27 coco 27 implies that there is a severe thunderstorm in the region, which is why you don't really see any rides over here. However, there are few rides taken here, not few, I mean it's 576 across the timeline, but these rides are taken in cocoa conditions 25. Now they are outliers, yes, but I have included them in the project just to show that these are the cases as well. Now there are multiple reasons for having this observation. One of the most naive reason could be that, hey, there is a group of people who are crazy who prefer thrill over safety, and they are they will prefer riding a bike even when the world is ending. They don't really care about the weather condition out there. And the second more logical reason is that these cocoa conditions are given on a daily basis, so it is possible that the day has been observed or has been forecasted to observe a thunderstorm, which is why the COCO code is, let's say, 27. However, there are some sweet spot hours within that day where the conditions are not yet built and people are still using the bikes in order for commute purposes, in order to commute. On the bottom left, you can see this is wind speed and ride duration. Quite simple. It can be seen that the average duration of the rides remains unchanged with the increase in the wind speed. However, the number of people taking those rides are gradually decreasing with the increase in wind speed. And the last chart is pressure and humidity heat map, which just reveals that people prefer to ride bikes in a preferable pressure and humidity conditions. And I provided a filter at the bottom so that you can explore the charts on a monthly basis and you can get insights from the same. Well, this is a line chart which shows how the total number of ridership changes from month to month. In the month of January, you can see around 50,000 rides have been taken, uh, and these gradually increase, and they peak over here in the month of August. Now, this is because New Jersey geographically experiences cold months during cold periods during these months, the first 2 or 3 months, and these are somewhere near summer months, June to August. So I mean, yeah, that is why people prefer to ride bikes in summer rather than in cold months. I've already talked about this, that members make up over 77% of the total rides, and electric bikes are a preferred choice, nearing around 63% throughout the year. And there is another filter on the top right where you can explore these distributions on a month to month level. Now, this is a whisker plot for assessing the ride durations among the group of casual and members, and to analyze if there are any changes on a weekend or weekday basis. And from this chart, it can be observed that casual riders are taking longer and leisure oriented rides. But obvious, you are here as a tourist and you are here to explore the city. You would rather spend much more time riding your bike and explore different areas. And this, in contrast to this, the member groups have shorter commute focused trips throughout the week because they have a specific destination to go, and time is of essence. The next map is the station hotspots, where bigger and darker the circle represents the higher number of rides that have been taken from that particular station. So this is, I'm just viewing it for all the months, and I'll start it from 0. On the right, I have a control for R code as well. So I'll just start clicking that. This is like 4 a.m. in the midnight, and you can see that the red dots over here, they are quite big, which means that from 4 or 5 a.m. onwards, people start their day, and they probably, these locations are nowhere closer to rail stations. These are the closer ones. So they start their day, and gradually 7 or 8 a.m. is the peak time when everybody starts their day. All the rides go to here Hoboken Station, over here Newport Path, over here Grove Street Path. So all the rides are taken from settlements or the community, localities to the bike stations which are closer to the railway stations, and that remains the case throughout the day. And after 6 p.m., it can be observed that all the rides are going back from the station, all the distributions are going back from the station to the living settlements over here. So this was the whole thing. And overall, from the data set, it can be seen that 77.47% of the rides have been powered by commuters and the member groups. And August had the peak number of rides taken, 107,648. And the most active station was Grove Street Path. So this was the whole story, and I hope it is useful for you. And thank you so much.